You can stand over here.
No, I can make a... do that. Everything in life, the first lesson I learned was it is about doing, and then you need to have a reason so you can receive something, have a goal. So I will stand on my head exactly the second I have a goal that is clear enough. So when I find out what I get from standing on my head, I'll do it right away. Deal?
Yeah. Michael, how did you decide to go to Thailand? You know you're dentist. How long?
That's very easy. My parents, they are president's team members in Herbalife. They like diamonds in Herbalife. And have 3,000-4,000 people in the organization in Thailand in Herbalife. So my parents went to make a meeting for them, and I went with them to just stay here for 3 months and work a little bit and so on. And then I started getting in the first couple of distributors, and afterwards I continued to help them, so I decided to stay another half year, and another half a year became 1 year and 2 years, and now 11 years.
11 years?
11 years.
Wow. How long in bhip?
1 year. 1 year. 1 year and, 1 year. 1 year. Second? Oh yeah, all my friends at a time. So I go...
100,000 people? How many people underneath you right now in 1 year?
Sign up?
Yes. First grade?
I don't know. 50,000.
In 1 year. Let me ask this question. If you start to work,
what is the way that they register? If they sign as a member or as a pro?
if you work not with you, with people, other people like us, you think you will do the same?
I mean, let me answer both questions. The question whether or not I would sign them up as distributors or professionals. I honestly never focus about that, to be honest. Because a professional is just a professional. What we're looking to do is build up diamonds. So whether they start as a distributor or a professional, it's the same, because a professional is just 400 points. So, but for my part, I am very, very different. I think it's nicely put in the way to sign up people, because if I sign up someone personally, I'm extremely demanding in a very nice way, but very demanding. Meaning, if people are not really committed, then I don't sign them up at all.
What's commitment for you? What do you mean? What do they have to do to be?
First of all, what they have to do is they have to. They have to.
Thinking in Thai.
I have no idea what it's called in English. You have to. They have to. ยอมรับภาษาอังกฤษเรียกว่าอะไรวะไม่รู้ They have to be able to accept the way that they have to accept the way that we do things, which is difficult for people. Some people in the beginning, meaning it's very strict. Not strict.
Trains and like this.
Someone comes to training and have done business for 3 weeks and don't have any customers, don't have any downline. Then on stage in front of 1,000 people, I say, listen here, please just do me one favor, stop tomorrow, go home, lay down, masturbate, just quit, please, you're wasting all time. And new people, they're like shocked, like, you really say that? But it is, I would rather offend 10 people and make one person realize that if you want something, you really got to do it, than to please 10 people, but nobody ever do anything to change their life. So the way that my organization say things to their guests, to their downline, to anyone is very not MLM like. Because in MLM, in direct sales, normally you learn to become very bullshitty. It's the right word. And that's good. But it works, definitely works, because there's people bullshitting all around the world that is very rich. But the problem at times is just that for new people to see through the bullshit is very difficult.
What needs to be done, so it's not for you.
It's a waste of time.
The next thing that I would recommend about that is, in every country I've been in with MLM, the people I meet is very clear. When you meet people, it is very easy to see who is the most successful and who's the least successful. And what I mean by that is the person who promotes themselves the most is the least successful, while the person who is the most, how to say in English, the most humble, but more than humble, the most giving, in terms of letting other people get the recognition, listening more than talking, understanding more than teaching, normally is the one who progresses the fastest. But when you get started in MLM, most people, they do it for the fame and fortune. But the problem about that is that at times you over-promote yourself to the level where people, they feel like, yeah, we know you're good, but and so on. So the more that you're able to be like Son, and you guys don't know who Son is.
No, we met him.
Very
we don't
briefly.
know who he is, yeah.
But Son's story, his background, so on, is he's not my typical downline, because his family are one of the richest families in the world. It is, I mean, so rich that it's just beyond imagination, just absolutely crazy. The money he earned in bhip is like I don't know, $70,000 a month or whatever. I don't know. It's like, it's not even pocket. It's like, it's a joke to his parents. It's like, why the guy working for $70,000 is like,
Why are you working?
you can buy a pair of shoes. I mean, in their minds. But you will never meet a guy more down to earth, more relaxed, and more, normal than him. You'll never in your life. It's like, he's the most normal guy you can ever find. And that is very telling of people that become successful. Is the more that I meet successful people, the more they're like that. For example, Terry. I mean, the first time I really met Terry outside of working, we went to drinking, and he got so drunk, Curtis got so drunk, I got so drunk that I bit him in the chest. Oh, literally. He have my teeth here for the rest of his life. We got wasted beyond imagining. I've never got this drunk in my life. Never. Ever. Ever. I mean, I can't remember anything. And we were sitting at the floor and in some place and going out to streets and eating. I mean, we did the most insane things. I mean, if people knew that this is Blue Diamond and the owner of the company, they were like, no way. But the less you care about your ego and the more you care about people, exactly, the faster your results are going to get.
What is your magic that you do that you duplicate your leaders to do the same?
In my opinion, very easy. It is to be able to make people realize, no, it's not true. Because you don't need to make them realize. They will realize over time that what you tell them is true. And what I mean by that is not about the money, it's not about all that, but about the relationship you have between people. It's very easy to say to someone, I love you. And it's very easy to say to someone that I'll be there for you. But most people, they just say it and never do it. But when you repeatedly show it time after 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 time, then it's a thing that is like you wouldn't ask me how to do it. You couldn't avoid it. Because Son or C or Apon, all my leaders, we are so good friends that you guys would not believe it, I think. And then I hear billions of people who say, oh yeah, it's like my team, we're best friends. And that might be, but being good friends when everything is good is very easy. but these guys, they have, when we stopped in Herbalife, we have a problem with the company. I have downline who have got offered $500,000 to change for another company in cash, so don't be in my organization. And said, if you raise it for $5 million, go screw yourself. If you raise it for $50 million, fuck off. If you for $500 million, no thanks. I can't be bored. Because when they had bad times, then I can remember at that point I had 1.5 million baht saved up many years ago, like 4 years ago, 5 years ago, when I just started earning money, when I just started getting a high check. I had $1.5 million. Baht. It's like nothing. It's like what is it? I don't know. 200,000. No, it's not. No. No. $50 $50,000 saved up, my whole life savings. And then one of my leaders, let's say he had a personal situation at his home where he faced challenges and so on, and I withdraw 1.5 million every single baht I had. There was like 2,000 baht left in my account and gave to him, and so you never need to give it back. His sideline, not his upline, not his downline, his sideline leader gave 700, everybody that he had in his account, said never need to give it back. And that is just one example out of hundreds of examples. We have done so many crazy things. Not this guy here, one of my best friends. When I met him first time, it's one of the only times in my life I've betrayed my beliefs of never to look down on people. But when I met him first time, I absolutely looked down on him. Absolutely. I thought he was the worst scum in the world. Literally. He was a drug addict. He was coming from the worst slum area in the country. If you went there today, you would never ever see the daylight tomorrow. It's just the most awful place you can ever imagine. If you've seen slum areas in movies, if you have in Israel, a little bit, Time with a Billion.
We are from Israel.
Yeah. So the worst slum area in Israel, Time with a Billion, and you have no idea. I mean, it's completely crazy where he comes from. His family don't have a power. It's so bad. And he started, and he sat there and looked like, he looked awful, to be honest. And after a couple of weeks, he was the most hard-working guy I've ever met. He was the most honest guy I've ever met. He changed his life. He stopped being in the gangs. He stopped being in the slum area. He stopped using the drugs. He stopped going to prison. He started coming to office every morning, be the last guy coming home. Started earning $500 a month. Started earning $1,000 a month. Started earning $2,000 a month. Started earning $3,000 a month. Started earning $5,000 a month. Started earning now $7,000 a month. Buying a Porsche right now. Crazy. And these kind of stories, they're what build relationships.
What do you mean by saying that if he was coming every morning to the office, your distributor running for an office?
Yeah, I have my own office.
Huh?
Bangkok.
Coming to the office. We have an office.
It could be coming to a home meeting. It could be going out with flyers. It could be meeting at the McDonald's and doing whatever. It could be anything. Just the principle of being the first guy starting work, being the last guy going home, be the most responsible guy of it all. I have a guy sitting here that finished his doctor's degree and he can't get his finger out the. But this guy shouldn't have any future. Change his life around. These kind of stories is what built the relationships that if someone gave him literally, this is literal, I mean literally, $1 trillion,
He would go back to.
he would never, ever, 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 no matter what, in 100 lifetimes, leave us. You could not, I mean, because
It's more.
it's difficult to understand people there. And then you say in Israel we don't have things like that. It's not about the money, it's about the sincerity of when people are in a bad situation, give them back.
Loyalty.
Wait a second.
When you are training someone, you divide between let's go, self-contacts, let's find to join the business.
If I divide,
What do you say to your people? Go sell or go recruit?
I tell people that if they walk, they can chew chewing gum at the same time. Meaning, do both at the same time. When you recruit, sell, and when you sell, recruit, and
You never know.
Focus on a customer base
You don't know if somebody wants to
and on the way get distributors or both. Talk to anyone and
I would rather say, at times I would even say, build your distributor base and then you'll be forced to getting customers. And why is that? Because if people build a distributor base, then they need customers, otherwise they can't survive because in the beginning they don't get any money. So it's, it's like a rowing boat. If you row and you use one side only, it's gonna go in a circle. So if you only resell, you're gonna circle around. If you only recruit, you're gonna circle around. So it's,
So what kind of a list this guy will have? Came from
oh yeah, the
Korean, no choice for nothing.
the 4 people standing next to him, just 4, was his 4 friends. They are now gold members, platinum, what else?
So this was his list.
Yeah.
We're working about 100 people on the list, 200 people on this. He has 4 friends and that's it.
He had maybe 100, but they was
Criminals, drugs addicted, with no money.
basically.
So how did he start his business? What chose this kind of
There is not a single person on planet Earth who cannot find 8,000 baht to start a distributor if they want. Not a single person. If you go to Africa, to the most poor village in the world, where they don't have money for food, if you want it bad enough, you'll find a way. Why do I say that? When you meet Javier Quini just before these guys there, I mean,
They were coming out of the jungle with cash.
I mean, if people they want something bad enough, they'll find a solution. But his list was never the problem. His desire was the solution. Is that when I met him, I told you a story already. 3 months went by and became one of my best friends. He moved into my house. He lived in my house for 2 years now. A guy called Bob. Ruby. Came from the worst slum in the world. After 3 months, he moved into my house and we sit at night time, like 3 a.m., 4 a.m. in the morning, after finish work and play video games just before sleeping. We have this video game that everybody in Thailand plays, like a football game, computer game. And then it's my best training session for leadership in the world. Because when you sit there, it's not about training, it's just about life training in general. It's like you get to talk about things that you would never talk about in a leadership meeting just because it would never come up. And suddenly I asked the guy, I asked Mom, I said in there, out of curiosity, I want to know, how did you use your, how could you just waste your life the way you did before? Why didn't you just go and work at 7-Eleven? Why didn't you just be a waiter at a minimum wage of $150 a month? It's better than being a drug addict in prison, isn't it? I just don't understand why. Not because I don't appreciate what you have done now. I'm just frustrated that I don't understand people at times. I was like, and we're close friends. I was like, what the hell were you thinking? He said, why didn't you just have a normal life? The guy said, the most intelligent thing I've ever heard in my life. Out of all the brilliant people I've met, Jim Rohn that they talk about, out of all the people, the most intelligent people in the world, never met a sentence that made more sense to me than this one here. I'll never forget it. Never. He said, it's because normal to you and me is not the same. And then I was like, what is he saying? He said, you asked me why don't I have a normal life? It's just because normal and where I come from have ever studied anything and have never ever thought about working anything. The only work you do is you sell drugs. It is very normal. It's not normal. It's just the way it is. It's normal. You say it's not normal to go to prison? I don't know anyone who haven't been there. I don't know a single guy. You talk about why don't you go to 7-Eleven work? It's because it's a very strange thought. Why would you do that? And that's the reason. And then afterwards, I asked the second question. I said, so why are you now the way you are? Why are you the most committed guy? Why are you the hardest working? Why are you blah, 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 blah? And then he did the one thing that blew my mind beyond imagination, because the first thing he said was the most intelligent thing I've ever heard to that point. And then within 10 seconds, this slum from the slums in Thailand came up with something that beat the first sentence. And then I was like, okay, you're my teacher, I'm not yours. He said, why am I hard working now? It's probably because, and he said it in a joke, in a sarcastic tone, but really meant it. That it's probably because normal for you and me is getting more similar every day. Wow. What is that showing us? It's just showing us that whatever society you live in, whatever circumstance you have, you just become that over time. And the one thing that you like in Israel, the one thing you like in Thailand, the one thing you like in Denmark, the one thing you like everywhere, is you like the opportunity of getting out of the circumstance you're in. That guy there, he was willing to do anything to improve his situation. It was just just the only problem he had up to that point was nobody had taught him. So he was like, I can't do anything I don't know.
There wasn't anybody to teach him.
No. The most clever guy in his area was the cleaning lady coming and cleaning the streets. So there was nobody to learn from,
How did you get to the business?
Get to the business because one of the leaders in the company was poor, but not as poor as him. Came from a bad area of Bangkok, not as bad as him. Hang out with a bad crowd in old days, not as bad as him though. And one of her friends was him.
Okay.
No, friends, people she knew. She's now ruby, almost emerald.
So she recruited him and
So long. Amazing story.
All about
All the work that you do is together all the time, or you're working with the internet?
I work with anything. When you are young in the business, you're very enthusiastic. You're very determined to only use one method because you believe in it. So if you're the internet guy, you're internet. When you're the flyer guy, you're the flyer guy. And when you're the list guy, you're only working with the list. And the longest, they're smiling. The longer time you are in business, the more you're like,
Relax.
whatever you do, go for it. Whatever you want, that's great. Because at the end of the day, it's all the same. It's just an approach to in tennis, you have something called an approach shot, just to get to the net. And whatever your approach shot is, that's great. You just need to get there. However you recruit, that's great. You just need to recruit. However you retail is great. You just need to retail.
But you're not teaching the one system to your team?
No. I use every system. I use the internet definitely. I use questionnaires. I use flyers. I use family and friends. I use anything. But I have a system for afterwards. What kind of meetings we have? That I have a very clear system about. My organization has meetings every day in 19 cities right now, all across the country. So we have open offices or places to gather in 19 cities, and everybody are meeting at that places every day, meetings. I have training sessions every night at 8 p.m. to 11 p.m., 11 p.m. to 1 a.m. We have the top leadership trainings and so on. So there's a system for the things. The timing of the meetings is not relevant. It could be at daytime, it could be at nighttime. It's just because that was what fits our organization the best. The information in the meetings is dependable on what you want to do. As I mentioned, the way that we do it is just very cut out the bullshitting and telling people exactly what they need to do on a daily basis. More or less. Second? Yeah, be very straight. Very straight. A lot of people don't appreciate that. That's fine. Some people get offended, some people get whatever, and I'm okay with that. As long as the people that do the business at the end of the day get the results they need, and everything in life, especially in this kind of business, is a balance. I met this guy who's very Republican, and another guy is very Democratic. Politically very left side of right side. You know what? Both of them are wrong. Because if there's one thing I'm not Democratic, and if there's one thing I'm not Republican. I'm just in the middle of everything. Because at the end of the day, it is to find the balance between things. Balance between being too hard on your downline and being too soft. The balance between retailing too much and recruiting a little bit too much. The balance between exciting right now and very sad afterwards. The balance of just being balanced. And that is something you can only gain by over time. Experience, and just time in business it makes you realize that there is not a single situation that you face that cannot be solved, and at the same time there's not a situation in your business that will make you rich, but there's a sequence of things that will enable you to reach what you want. So when you face something that is very bad, that thing is not a sequence, it's a single event. But when you face a single event that is amazing like today, I go home with clear knowledge that I'm not going to get rich from this meeting. I'm just going to get inspired to do something to get rich. So over time you just realize things a little bit at a time. Momentum is what drives the business. At the same time, is what kills the business as well. Because you have your very, very strong momentum, like you guys have, by the way. You can ride on it, and you can build a huge organization if you do it right. But sooner or later, you're gonna face huge problems. It's a guarantee. It's gonna be one day from now, 17 years from now, I don't know. But definitely it's going to be something where you wake up. And you know what? There's this song. It's called, what is it called? I can't even remember. You guys wouldn't know it. The thing you want to say, I'm a bad singer.
You gave 2 songs today, was amazing.
I just, my mouth was running. But the music was not. In the song they say, any problem that you have faced in life, that you're worried about for your whole life, is not the true problem in life. The true problem is something that awakes you on an average Saturday morning, and you have no clue it's gonna happen, and you get absolutely blasted away. That's the real problem in life. Because the problems you worry about is not the real problems, because the problems you worry about is not the big ones. The big one is the unexpected ones that just suddenly appears from nowhere, and then the true character shows whether or not you are meant to be the one receiving the awards or not, because that is where you gotta show your leadership. Don't worry about that right now, because everything is just amazing. But prepare yourself at the same time, because if not, then when you start facing it, it's going to be that Saturday morning. And it's always good to be a little bit prepared, at least mentally. Except from that, there's not that much to say except that I truly believe, and I have believed for a long time now, that what you see at these meetings is not I would say it's not even the beginning. And when I say that, everybody thinks that I'm selling them on some big pitch about how big bhip is going to be, because that is the bullshitting that goes around in every MLM company. Sorry to be very direct, but I'll try to give you a reason why I really think it. Really think it. I'll give you 2 reasons even. First reason, because 8 years ago, we had this leadership meeting. The leadership meeting I'm talking about, there was 11 people involved. And back then, I was $8,000 in debt, which is nothing. But at the time, it was. I was like, I'm gonna pay that off when I'm 80. I mean, it's gonna take me 400 years, because it was so much money for me back then. I earned $5,000 a month. I earned $90 US. Oh no, sorry, $150 US a month. I've not done the business for 3 years. Yes. So I thought 200,000 is gonna take me about 272 years with the rate I'm doing it right now. And we had this leadership meeting with 11 people. And we sat and talked about the future, and talked about one day we're going to have an event with 100 people. One day we're going to have an event with 1,000 people. One day, and then we said, back then there was no Muslim company, there was no arena here. It didn't exist yet. It was not built yet. We had the old arena. It was called Bangkok, which was capable of, I can't remember, I think 6,000 people, 5,000 something. And we said, one day we're gonna fill out the stadium. And people, and the 11 people said it, everybody was looking at each other like, yeah, right.
We can say
We're gonna fill it up. No big deal. But at the same time, people were like, what your mouth say, sometimes your heart don't really believe, but you push yourself to believe it so much that you say it with conviction anyway. Now 8 years pass and we sit here. Back then we talked about one day we're gonna get our BMWs and we're gonna get our Mercedes-Benz, and some of us said we're gonna get our Ferrari and Lamborghinis. And people were like, right now we are literally scraping, not for the taxis, because we would never ever sit and say, I mean, why would you ever use $3 US to sit in a taxi? Have you fucking lost your mind? No way. But we scraped the 30 cents for the bus across town. I talked about the Lamborghini and the Ferraris, and people were like, yeah, we're gonna get there, but it's a little bit far away. But one fine day, and said it and our heart did not really believe it that much, but we said it enough to believe it. Because whatever you say just one time enough, you start actually believing it's going to happen. And back then, we talked about all these different things. Let's not go into detail. And all of that and more have happened today. So when we sit now and talk about in 5 years from now or 7 years from now, oh, you would never ever. I believe in 5 years. Honestly, I believe 5 years from now, it's going to be so insane that the guy with the best imagination in the room is probably Terry, and he has no freaking idea what's going to happen. I think bhip 5 years from now are going to be in the league of the Herbalives, of the Amways, of the blah blah blahs, and that's just my opinion. When I think about that, the confidence I had back then in 8 years from now about we were gonna get the Lamborghinis was not even 1% of the belief I have about the future 8 years from now. That's the first reason. I believe you can learn a lot about the future by studying the past. And the past has clearly shown how the development has been here. And when the past has been like that and the present is today, the sky's the limit. The second reason is because out of all the people I've met in MLM, in network marketing, I've never met a management team and a corporate side I never met a corporate side that is not corporate like bhip. And you know what? In any company that is a bad word, if you say that to Google or Microsoft that their leadership and management is not corporate, they're like, that's horrible. That's terrible. I mean, you want to have a corporate side. But in a company like this, the one thing that absolutely kills everything right away, immediately, without knowing, is corporate. There's nothing killing, nothing in the world. It's like sucking the life out of any distributor faster than you can spell your own name. There's no company on planet Earth that have a CEO, that have a founder, that have an owner, that have a distributor, that have a leader like we have here. We really don't. And you only appreciate that when you have been in a company that is corporate. When you've been in Herbalife. Herbalife was founded by the person outside of my family and my friends that I personally know, that I respect and love the most in the world. Out of one reason, in the world there is these 1 in a billion people, kind of people, like the Gandhis of India, like the Mother Teresa, like the whatever, the King of Thailand, by the way, the people who don't know. That's just beyond imagination, the things they have done without wanting anything. And Mark was one of them. And he built a company that today is top 5 MLM company in the world. Out of one reason, the distributors, no matter how much they hate the corporate, they still do Herbalife out of one reason, Mark. I would still have been in Herbalife if the corporate basically hadn't thrown me off. I would still have been in Herbalife. Even though I didn't earn a lot, I had earned minimum, I would still be in Herbalife. If you paid me $1 billion to go anywhere, I would never, no thanks. It's just something that is difficult to explain. But in 2000, Mark passed away, and the corporate started. And within 5 years, it was not changed in one day. Within 5 years, it was a big change. Nowadays, Herbalife that we guys know, the old folks, the generation one, the old distributors that know Herbalife, what Herbalife was, they can't recognize the company. Literally, it's like, really?
Michael, you lived it.
Yeah.
Picture your first company Terry started. First president.
Yeah.
I was talking about on stage today. It's still there. And now you ask me that, that's what people say 10 years. You go to Terry. It's one same dream as that company. They have a name. They've got some products they used to sell. Beyond that,
No spirit.
completely no heart. They look for shareholders, not distributors. They eat them up, they spit them out. They get up, they go in boardrooms, they say, why are we paying these people so much money? There has to be a way to pay them less money. Well, they built big groups, they built a company. But what have they done for us lately? The groups, we can't keep the groups that what would have done.
And you know what that is called? It's called loyalty only works both ways.
Yes.
It really does. I mean, the first couple of months, or let's say it this way, the first period that I was in bhip with my organization faced insane problems. We still do nowadays, by the way. The more you earn, the bigger problems. It's just life. Get used to it. If you don't want problems, go on social security. No problem. But we had the most problems. Loyalty only works both ways. And the reason why I say that is because the more loyal that the company are to me, the more loyal I am to the company. And it's a cycle that is never ending. While I was in bhip in the beginning, I earned not enough. Not enough was when you move to a new company with a huge organization, you have a lot of expenses, you have a lot of things, and we didn't earn enough. There were people coming up to me and saying, Janice, do you want to come to Janice? We'll give you what do you want? What do you want? What do you want? Anything. You want $1 million? I will lick your hands and you get 3 likes. We only have a binary, but I will give you 3 likes. Very generous. That was a joke, by the way. It was a Thai joke. It didn't really translate, I think.
Yeah, but we can use the imagination.
Okay. So.
Why didn't you go to
Why didn't go? Because loyalty works both ways.
no, they offered you when you were in bhip?
Yes.
Ah, okay.
Why didn't I go?
No.
This is a very good question. No, seriously.
No, I did. I thought that before you were in bhip.
Yeah, no. The reason why I say it's a very relevant question is because it happens all the time. It happens all the time. When you become a Royal Diamond in bhip, do you earn a lot? Do you earn a lot? A Royal Diamond?
Yes.
Presidential Diamond in bhip, do you earn a lot? Yeah, you earn a lot. You earn, let's say you earn $1 million a month. Do you earn a lot? Yes or no?
Yes.
Would you move for another company? Yes or no?
No.
No? But if you're a businessman with a business mind thought, you would. Definitely. Because it happens all the time. It happens all the time. When you become a Royal Diamond in bhip, do you earn a lot? Do you earn a lot? Royal Diamond?
Yes.
Presidential Diamond in bhip, do you earn a lot? You earn a lot. You earn, let's say you earn $1 million a month. Do you earn a lot? Yes or no?
Yes.
Would you move for another company? Yes or no?
No.
No? But if you're a businessman with a business mind thought, you would. Definitely. If you're in it for the money only, yeah, you would. Surely. Why? When you earn $1 million a month, you have a turnover of $100 trillion. And if you went to Monterey and said, I have $100 trillion worth of business, how much will you pay me a month? They would say, how much do you get right now? Oh, I get $1 million US. I will give you 1.3. And then business people, what do? They move. The problem about business people in MLM, they get really, really rich, really, really fast, and then they get really, really poor, really, really fast. Because loyalty always works both ways. It's like a man and a wife, they get married, and the man is cheating on his wife, but expecting the wife to be faithful. It's impossible. It's impossible because it's either or. It works both ways. You can't expect something you don't give, and the other way around. And that's one of the things that when you do a long-term business, you realize that loyalty inside of an organization is not important. Really not important. It's really everything, because without it, it's just a way to earn some money now, but not a way to build a lifetime security for yourself, your family, for your kids, for the society, for your friends, for everybody. There's a clever guy who said that your sense of character only shows in public times. Meaning if you are not thoughtful and considerate guy when you're poor, then you're gonna be the biggest bastard in the world when you get rich. But if you're considerate and nice guy when you're poor, you're gonna be an unbelievable person in any term of life when you get rich, because money only enhances whatever you are. And that really shows in life. Rich people ask me that. Yeah, I've never met a rich guy who's normal. Isn't that right? I mean, either they are unbelievable nice guys, or they're just unbelievable bad people. Either or, but left or right.
It was amazing today.
Oh.
I will just say that I was standing there and say all these rich people, and I didn't understand nothing. I was without nothing, and it was so transforming. I felt that I can see how amazing they are, and like I was standing there crying. It was so amazing to watch it. It was really amazing for me.
Now, real quick, because we fast up and for the same day, he will sit here for another 16 hours and still has 2 more on his own feet he's got to go get to. I'm sure he'll get on hangouts with you guys. We're going to talk about that. We'll do that. So I just want to, keep that in mind that he will be doing this till 6 a.m. if that's what it takes, because his love is far beyond his pockets.
You can feel that, Michael.
And this is the way, I mean, I've always wanted to say that, Kurt, is that if anyone ever needs me anywhere for a big event or something, I'll fly and I'll whatever you do.
Thank you so much, Michael.